Okay, let's talk about 2025. Did you feel it too? That nagging sense that the code of reality was starting to, I don't know, fray at the edges? Like we were all living through some kind of massive system error?
Yeah, that subtle but constant hum of just strangeness in the background. The feeling that something wasn't just wrong, it felt like fundamentally broken.
And, it wasn't just one thing, right? It was a whole series of glitches. These moments where the world didn't just feel weird, it felt completely off the rails. So today, let's break it down. We're going to dive into the 3 major system errors that really defined 2025.
All right, first up, glitch number 1. This was the year the digital dams just broke, and we were all hit by this tidal wave of, well, turns out we have a name for it now.
AI slop. And it's the perfect term, isn't it? For that just endless, soulless stream of machine-generated content that completely flooded our feeds. I mean, it got so pervasive, so defining of our entire online experience that Merriam-Webster went ahead and officially named it the word of the year. Wild. And you have to see how far this stuff spread. I mean, slop wasn't just on weird Facebook pages anymore. No, it seeped into everything. Our favorite comedy shows, the highest levels of political power, even our own faces when we all did that Ghibli me trend. It got so out of hand that it even created fake events that people actually physically showed up for.
And people absolutely noticed. The reaction was visceral. Like when viewers thought they spotted AI-generated graphics on a show like Saturday Night Live, a place that's supposed to be all about human creativity, the backlash was instant. It just felt wrong, like a total violation. But this trend didn't stop there. It scaled all the way to the top. This wasn't just some pop culture thing. As Wired magazine pointed out, the Trump administration started leaning heavily on AI-generated images for official messaging. We're talking images of him as a fighter pilot, even as the Pope. I mean, this wasn't just weird. It was a fundamental shift in how politics communicate.
Okay, so that leads us to our next glitch. And this is where things start to get even stranger, if you can believe it. The simulation wasn't just generating content anymore. Nope, it started generating our actual, physical reality, all for the sake of creating content.
Look, we've always known that ads try to imitate life. But in 2025, the script totally flipped. Life started imitating the ads. We saw brands staging these completely surreal, elaborate stunts out in the real world, designed from the ground up for one reason and one reason only, to go viral.
And the absolute masterclass in this came from Chili's. They tapped right into everyone's frustration with inflation by setting up a fake payday loan store right next to a McDonald's. The whole pitch was basically, hey, we'll give you a loan to afford their expensive burger, or you could just come to Chili's for our cheaper one. It was cynical, it was hilarious, and man, it worked perfectly.
So what was the result? Get this, 6 billion media impressions. That's billion with a B. People were lining up for hours just to experience an ad, to take a picture of it, to be a part of the stunt. Think about that. It was a marketing campaign so effective, it literally bent reality around itself.
Okay, that brings us to our final and honestly, maybe the most unsettling glitch of 2025. This was the year that the wall between stories, fiction, and real life, it just became leaky, permeable.
Just think about this for a second. A brazen, totally Hollywood-style heist at the Louvre. Thieves steal Napoleon's jewels in under 8 minutes, in broad daylight, while tourists are just walking by. The whole thing was so cinematic, so unreal, that the thieves' outfits became one of the year's hottest Halloween costumes. We didn't just watch the crime happen, we turned it into an aesthetic.
So this blurring of the lines, it created this space where the most compelling story, not necessarily the true one, became the one everyone believed. And there's no better example of this than the absolutely bizarre saga of a certain haunted doll. So the infamous Annabelle doll goes on tour, right? And at the exact same time, a historic building nearby burns down, some inmates escape from a local prison, and one of the paranormal investigators on the tour suddenly dies. So, was it all connected? Well, the internet certainly thought so. Now, the doll's owner, a guy named Tony Spira, he insisted it was all just a wild set of coincidences, totally blown up by internet frenzy. But that's the whole point, isn't it? When you're in a battle between a boring, mundane explanation and a terrifying supernatural conspiracy theory, well, the conspiracy is just a better story. And in 2025, the better story won. A lot. And hey, if you need one last perfect example, just look at this.
Hunter/X. This is a band that does not exist. They were completely made up for a Netflix movie. And yet their single Golden hit #1 on the real-world Billboard charts. Think about that. A fictional creation achieved actual real-world success, completely shattering the fourth wall of reality.
So, after you look at all this stuff together, the AI slop, the reality-bending ad stunts, the stories leaking out into the real world, it kind of forces you to ask a really big fundamental question. What if we've been looking at this all wrong?
Are these glitches just bugs in the old system? Are they the final sputtering death throes of an old analog way of seeing the world? Is this simply what it looks like when a whole system is about to crash and burn?
Or, what if this is the upgrade? What if this is the new normal? A world where that line between what's real and what's fake, what's human and what's machine, a story versus an event, is permanently and intentionally blurred. Not a bug, but a feature of the new design.
And that leaves us with the biggest question of all, doesn't it? If this is the new operating system for how we experience life, and if 2025 was just our first real look at the user interface, then what in the world are we all logging into next?